All right, so what is a short and why is it a bad idea? Well, a short, and by the way, this is not financial advice, right? I'm not currently in the stock market at all. So, full disclosure, there's no disclosure necessary. A short is when you borrow a stock, sell it, and then hopefully borrow it back later or buy it back later for a shorter amount of money, and then return it to the person you borrowed it from. Well, right now, the big thing is that the hedge funds were trying to short GameStop. Well, GameStop was about $4 a share. That means that if they were right, they stood to make $4 per share. But if they're wrong, they could lose any amount of money, right? So in other words, if you're betting the stock goes down, it can only go down to zero. It stops at zero because it can't go negative. But then if you're wrong, it could jump up to 100 or 200 or 400 or even 500. It's like 492 right now, or it was 492 at some point today. That's an incredibly stupid bet. Think about this for a second. You're betting maybe $1,000, maybe $20,000 to get $4. That is a risky, bad idea. If you're like 100% sure that that's gonna happen, I mean, maybe that makes sense, but it is generally not something you want to do with a very cheap stock. And the hedge fund managers are finding out what can happen if you do that with a very cheap stock, because the people decided that, hey, they're going to buy it. And it turns out that they were in such a bad position. The outstanding shorts are something like 138% of the actual number of shares available. This is going to drive that stock up like just an amazing amount, right? Because supply versus demand. The demand is built in with the short sellers. They have to get shares back in order to basically fulfill the contracts. The supply is now restricted and further restricted by people buying it. So this is what is referred to as a short trap. And I just want to point out that this is entirely the hedge fund manager's fault. They put themselves in a bad position. They put themselves in a position to lose billions of dollars. The last number I heard was that they stood to lose collectively about $70 billion. That's a crazy large amount of money right now. I mean, that's a lot of money. I guess I don't have to tell people that $70 billion is a lot of money. It's so much money that people don't know how much money it is. Like, you just can't even fathom that amount of money. But my point is, if you're going to play the stock market, the best way to play the stock market is just to buy stocks and let them go up. Now, I know that may not be the most profitable, and you can find tricks and ways of doing things on margin, but, I'm old-fashioned. I don't want to risk losing any more money than I'm willing to lose, right? So if I go buy a stock for $100, the most I can lose is $100. My upside becomes, anything from the $100 to $500 to $1,000 to $20,000. I mean, you can make any amount of money if the stock goes up, but you only lose like the $100. Well, the short sellers reversed that on a stock that was very small to begin with, a $4 stock. I cannot tell you how ridiculously crazy risky that move was. And now they're acting like they're the victims. They're not the victims. They made a bad bet. And now it's, they've done this so many times and they've made a lot of money. The really crazy thing is they have $70 billion to lose. I mean, they generally have a lot of money, and they're going to, they're losing money, but they're billionaires anyway. So, I don't know. I mean, that's basically where it is. I'm entirely in favor of people jumping into the stock market, and if you can turn a $4 stock into a $500 stock, then you're doing a great job, and you should keep doing that. Hold the line.